Welcome everyone to the Wedding Extravaganza 21 very special experience. We'd like to welcome anyone that hasn't joined us today for our fifth workshop of the day and remind you that we have two more this evening. And for those of you that have been online with us today, welcome back. We do have Sarah Taylor from It's Your Day Bridal, and we're going to be talking about wedding gowns again. Before we get on that though, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Nancy Campana. I'm the owner of Wedding Shows Windsor, Nouveau Event Planning, and we normally produce the wedding shows at the Caboto Club, but have resorted to doing some new things to help you connect with our wedding professionals this year. I'd like to thank Sweet Revenge and Anything and Everything who did my backdrop setting. And I'd also like to remind you that as registered couples, you can go online to shop online with Wedding Shows Windsor. We have a very extensive directory with a lot of vendors hopping on board every week, and many of those vendors do have Wedding Shows Windsor special discounts on our shop online page. Sarah is also one of our loyalty members, which means if you shop with our loyalty vendors, who again are listed all online under the loyalty page at weddingshows.com, you can turn in your receipts to us when you get married, and depending on the level of your spend, we have a gift for you. So make sure to keep that in mind when you're shopping as well. Sarah, welcome. It's great to have you back. We had you online in January and you were one popular girl that got a lot of questions that day. So today we thought we'd move on to a new topic, the silhouette guide and how to find the perfect dress for your body shape. Sarah has a cliche story. She is that bride who opened a bridal boutique. People are Sarah's passion, and it shows in the boutique she has created, where brides can not only find their dream gown, but while doing so, they are treated to truly a unique experience. Sarah began It's Your Day 17 years ago, and her mission has always been to have people leave feeling more beautiful than when they stepped into the boutique. With a staff team who are equally as passionate for people and everything wedding as Sarah is, you will immediately know that the It's You Boutique Day team love being part of your bride's journey, and they like to help make your vision reality. And I have a feeling you become friends with a lot of brides that shop with you, Sarah. You're just that kind of girl.
You know what? And you're absolutely right. I have a lot of my former brides are Facebook friends. We have actually several of our consultants that work here were former brides that I stalked to come work here. I've had one of our brides, we took our dog to puppy class together. So
Nice.
yeah, I love what I do, and I love the people and the connections that I make.
So they do become part of your family. Last time you were online, we talked a lot about the process of getting in dress and the timing and, what to look for in a bridal store and how to know how to prepare to walk through the doors of a bridal store. But today we're getting down to the nuts and bolts, and we're going to talk about finding the right dress for your body shape. And I'm thinking that a lot of brides step into your store and they have a common body image notion in their head or about themselves before they even try on their first dress.
Yes, and my biggest advice is like check it at the door because, you know, probably 75% of our brides buy something they wouldn't have considered trying. So I think that is the biggest thing, is that they come in thinking they can't wear something, and that is not necessarily the case. It's usually what they look the best in.
So coming in open-minded, right, is a good first
That's
point to.
honestly the first thing is coming with an open mind and trust the professionals.
So often brides choose a gown that is in style or on trend during the time period they get married, rather than what suits their body silhouette and looks most flattering on them. When would you suggest to brides to think about first before getting fixated on a particular wedding style gown?
I think the biggest thing is focus on the little details, which is kind of the opposite, I think, of what, most times you would get as advice. But, if you love lace, concentrate more on, do you like floral lace, or do you like scrolled lace or geometrical lace, not necessarily the style of the dress. because so many styles are constructed differently, that so many body types will look good in different silhouettes, but more focus on like what fabrics you like, what things you don't like. Do you love a long train? As opposed to a specific dress.
Yeah. And I know, Sarah, for many years, there was kind of a 4-year span where we saw nothing but strapless dresses on the runways at our shows. Every store, every bridal gown on the runway was a strapless dress. And to see the variety behind you is really refreshing, because I think you'll agree with me that although you can fit a gown in every style doesn't necessarily enhance every bride's best features.
I totally agree with you with that. And it's so nice to see so many variations, even of like a V-neck, so it can suit so many different body types,
Mhm.
with just utilizing different necklines, and even adding like to a strapless dress, we could add straps or off the shoulder, and that changes, like the look of the gown, or, what feature it's going to enhance.
So you have a new online customer fitting portal. Tell us about that portal.
So we have, during COVID, obviously trying to reach our brides that are still getting married. Our point of sale system that we use in-house, they developed an online customer portal. So what's great about that online customer portal, it can connect us, with bridesmaids or brides across the country, that are utilizing our services. It like lets them favorite, their favorite dresses through our online website. It allows them to shop online directly, like they can purchase right from our website. It also connects like our bridal parties together. So, the bride can select dresses she likes, and then the bridesmaids can log in and see those dresses. They can do their, online payments, online measurements. So it makes it a little more convenient for those people that physically aren't in the store.
And I would think for brides who have bridesmaids spread across the country, that becomes very convenient.
Yes, because the bridesmaids can do it at 2 a.m. They can log into our portal. They don't have to wait, for a time when somebody's here to physically answer the phone. They can process their payments. They can do everything right through our portal.
Can you walk us through the different body silhouettes and the gown styles that might look best on each of those body shapes, Sarah?
So basically, we have like 5 different body types. So you have your pear shape, which is smaller top, bigger bottom. You have your apple, which is a little bit, fuller through the middle, but kind of straight. You have your hourglass, which, bigger bust, bigger hips, smaller waist. You have your triangle, which are your girls that have the larger tops and the smaller hips. And then you have your straight silhouette, which is somebody that has that sort of athletic build, boy shape, very straight. So each of those body types, there are dresses that work really well for each body type, but there's also a combination of things that can work really well. Over here, I have like my first dress over on the right hand side of me. It is an A-line gown with a V-neck. This is great for someone who's short torsoed. It's going to give you lots of length through your body. If someone's busty, this V-neck tank, they can still wear a bra underneath. It has lots of support and lots of structure. But again, if someone's broad shouldered, this works really well because it draws that line down. If you are pear shaped and you have some hips that you want to hide and show off your small waist, this A-line works great. My dress behind us here on the silhouette is a fit and flare / trumpet, kind of similar in silhouette. They have the seams underneath, which you can't see, but this is great for someone who is hourglass or has some hips, because despite what most ladies think, if they have hips, they don't usually want to show them, but these are the ladies that look the best in these dresses. Or somebody who is straight, this gives them that silhouette because there is a lot of structure. The off the shoulder is great for someone who's really small, framed up top. It opens their shoulders up, or if they're shorter in the torso, it gives them that opening, that extra, which funny enough, this is a strapless dress with just off the shoulder straps attached to it.
Mhm.
My dress here, this silhouette is a sheath silhouette. So this is best for someone who actually has curves. This dress is not going to give you curves. So if you're straight, not the best option. But if you've got that hourglass shape or that pear shape, this is a great style because your body fills out the gown, as well as something with these little spaghetti straps is great for someone who's very petite on the top because it will broaden their shoulders and give them sort of that open that they're looking for. Strapless is great for someone who is broad shoulders because it kind of balances them off. We have a ball gown back in the corner, which works for someone who is very straight because it gives them that illusion of having that hourglass silhouette. And it's also good for someone who's very kind of short through that upper portion of their body because it does give them that opening. Now, maybe not as great for someone who's very long torso because then it's going to give them lots of skin up there. But the one thing to keep in mind with strapless gowns is that a lot of people think that if they're small chested, they can't wear it, which is actually the opposite, because there's so much structure in it. When it's fitted at your waist, it actually keeps the dress from dropping down. Now, contrary to a lot of people's beliefs, where they think you have to have a large bust to wear strapless, what you run into with that is you get that gaping open on the dress. So that's really important to have someone tailor it very well so that they can bring that cup in so it fits nice and flat.
Yeah, and we've all seen the strapless dress mistakes. So I think when you talk about fit, that's so important, Sarah. You know, you might be a size 12 normally, but walk into a bridal gown shop and need a 16 for the proper fit.
For
And we
sure.
shouldn't get stuck on those numbers. What's the most important thing is the fit. And then when I look at those four dresses behind you, they're all so distinctly different. I mean, one is very ball gowny, but plain, right? Very little detail, as you were saying. And then the other is, you know, full out lace, and one with a nice, or the next two have, you know, nice combinations of lace and fabric, but also two different body styles or bodices. So really distinctively different dresses. And I like that you put up such a variety
And we
up
have
there.
like over 600 dresses in stock. So we can take variations of each dress and kind of combine them together as well.
So mothers of the bride and grooms are often dealing with trying to find a dress to fit for themselves on a day that they want to look fabulous too, but in a period of their life where they're probably feeling not the best about their body as they go through menopause changes. You know, you might have been always a real tiny girl, and all of a sudden, as a mother of the bride and being 50, 60, whatever, you've got this extra weight that you've never had to deal with before in your life. How does a mother of the bride deal with getting a dress that she fits and feels and looks great in?
Well, my first and foremost piece of advice for that is moms, do not wait. We get a lot of moms that come in last minute because they're trying to drop those few extra pounds. They don't really feel great. My suggestion is you don't want to limit yourself to what's in stock, what's available for color, because a lot of people don't realize that most things are manufactured overseas. They will take 3 to 4 months to order anything in minimum. So you want to make sure you have enough time that you can come in and you can get the color that looks the best on you. You can get a shape that looks the best on you. And if you really trust the consultants, you know, they're going to recommend styles that work best. And typically with moms, you're right, it's that center section they're not happy about. As we age, that's kind of where things go. You know, and finding stuff to, like, basically their favorite asset, we're going to show that off, and then we're going to minimize the things that they don't like.
Okay.
So I think just trusting in the fact that we know what styles fit best on which body type, and come in with an open mind and just tell people like what your challenges are. It's like, oh, I don't like this, but I love this. So then we're going to focus on the things you love, and we're going to help minimize the things you don't.
We have a lot of chat questions that came in. Connor opened up the chat and we're ready to go with chat questions, Sarah. On average, what is the starting price for alterations?
So we are no longer doing in-house alterations. However, I always suggest if you budget yourself somewhere between $500 and $700 for all of your alterations. The hem is the most expensive portion. Unless somebody's at least 5'10", you're going to need a hem, because you want to be able to walk down the aisle. You don't want to be tripping. You're going to have your hands full, that type of thing. So again, with anything in life, you pay for what you get. So there are people that offer less expensive alterations. There are people that offer more expensive alterations. But if you generally have a guide of around even that $500 mark per se, then you have a good spot to start, and then you're not going to be stressed out at the end.
And Alex's question puts in mind to me to talk about, brides haven't been able to cross-border shop, which has been really a godsend for stores here in the area. Proof is in the pudding, girls, that when you spend your dollars locally, it helps to employ local people. So, when that border opens again, and we're seeing the odd pop-up bridal gown sale come into some of the clubs here one day, gone the next. I think a lot of these girls don't realize that they're going to bring these dresses across the border or go to a pop-up shop and buy a dress that might be 3, 4, 5 seasons old because they were hanging in a bridal shop for years. And they think they're getting a deal, but they know they're going to need alterations, and then they have no idea what alterations cost and get a big surprise. Whereas I think if you buy something locally, you can discuss alterations right at the bridal store, or get the gown, order the gown that's going to fit you and avoid that completely. Am I correct in saying that, Sarah?
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people think anything can be altered, and it can't. There is a small inseam that a dress can be let out a size or two. It can be taken in a size or two, but again, it depends on neckline. The more that's on the neckline, the harder it is to take down multiple sizes. So, trying to get something that, is obviously cost effective, but a lot of people don't take into consideration, their duties and the exchange rate. So they look at a price in the US and they think, oh, it's this price, but you have to add like 55% more when you're bringing it back in, and people don't really realize that. So, we have some great options with our online store, with our sales section, and then most stores in the city do blowouts every year. So, you can get some great deals on a sample. The hard part about these pop-ups is if something happens and they're just selling you a dress and then you go to get it altered and you can't alter it, then all that money you've spent is out the window. Or even like shopping online through these Chinese websites, what you're getting is not necessarily what you think you're getting. And then what happens is you're stuck with this extra bill or this dress you can't even use. So, shopping local, I'm a big supporter of that in pretty much everything I do. Because not only is, keeping my business going, but it's keeping all of my employees who live locally, working. So that's important, for the brick and mortar side of it, and trusting us, right?
It's truly going to be the key of getting out of this successfully if people really understand the importance of supporting local businesses. Tiffany is asking, what are some ideas to soften a muscular physique?
Well, I think, creating softness in your fabrics, or in the lines on your body. So like this gown over the ball gown has like a lot of tulle. So that soft tulle would really create a softness and a soft feel. Any of the laces that have those sort of unfinished edges where they're like soft details against, that muscular physique, that I probably would suggest, pulling that feminine side if, someone was worried about it. Now, somebody with a muscular physique or athletic build, typically most of the time they're going to fit into any silhouette. It's just going to be a matter of what they like the best or feel the prettiest in.
Jasmine is asking, how early should you start looking for or purchasing bridesmaids dresses? Good question.
So yeah, another misconception is that they think they can come in like overnight, and with bridesmaids dresses, they take just as long as a wedding gown to make. So typically we suggest an 8 to 10 month turnaround time. Trying not to leave it less than 8 months, because you want to make sure that all the bridesmaids, have time to come in, get measured, and then all the dresses are ordered at one time from that wedding party, so that they're all cut from the same dye lot and you don't have any variations of colors.
Okay, perfect. Carly is asking, what do you suggest to someone who has tried on multiple dresses but can't find the perfect one?
Okay, so sometimes I think brides overthink the perfect dress. I think instead of focusing on the dress, what they need to do is focus on how beautiful they feel in the gown. Our process here at It's Your Day is a lot different than most other stores in Ontario, even Canada. We actually do a pre-consult before our bridal appointments. So we do a Google form with them and then a call to get to know our brides to make sure that what key factors are important to them, so that when we're pulling out dresses, it's not only what's going to suit their body type, but what's going to suit their wedding, their personality. And maybe that's the biggest thing for Carly, is just to kind of focus on the things she feels beautiful in as opposed to a specific dress.
Brielle is asking, can we specifically ask for a meeting with you, Sarah, when looking, excuse me, when looking to book? My mom and I love you already.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's nice.
Absolutely. There are 7 of us that work here. We do have, sisters get married and friends get married, and people request specific people all the time. So when you're booking your appointment, whether it's online or calling the store, because we do have an online booking appointment scheduler as well, you can just put in the notes or ask the receptionist to book it with a specific consultant.
And Louisa is asking, she's a second time bride. I like to call them encore weddings. She's a bit older and she's wondering if wearing a white dress is the way to go, or are different colors acceptable?
Well, I will say right now we only sell about 1% in white. And then we're about 50% ivory to other colors. So like champagnes, moscatos, whatever other shades of off white. And I say, you do you. Like, there's no one size fits all, there's no box. It's like, what do you feel the most flattering in, the most beautiful in? What colors go the nicest on your skin tones? And not really focus on whether it's the first wedding, second, third, fourth, any of those. It's more a matter of what do you feel pretty in.
And I think that's the beauty of getting married in this era in history, or this time in history, is that anything really can go right now in weddings. You make up the rules, you do your wedding your way. Tradition went out the door in 2020 for weddings, and we've reinvented the wedding, and it's a great time to, just like you say, you do you, and don't be dictated by past history or past family traditions.
Yeah.
You can get away with doing most anything right now for your wedding day. Tiffany is asking, if I'm looking for a 2-piece bridesmaid's gown, they are not common. Where should I look?
For bridesmaids dresses.
Yes,
Okay.
2-piece.
Okay, so we do have a couple options with 2-piece where you have the top and the skirt. And we do have one, I think, that has a top, a skirt, and a pant option. So there are a couple options. It's not the most common, but there are some options available through the store that we do have with the 2-piece.
Okay, and Tiffany is also asking, are there a lot of dresses that come with the option to take a train off for the reception for a more party look after the ceremony?
Yes, that's a great question, because there's a lot of new designs out that are featuring overskirts. So they're like fitted dresses with like the full overskirt, so you can take the overskirt off. There are some dresses that have detachable trains or illusion trains so that they could be very easily bustled up for the reception. There are some 2-piece dresses where it's actually a skirt and a top. So you could change out the skirts to something slimmer, or, with our off the rack online store, you could actually find a really great deal on a second reception dress. So you could wear your regular gown, and then we offer some great discounts for people buying, whether it's 2 dresses for one bride, or if it's same-sex weddings, we do offer a discount for both brides buying with us as well.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. I think you answered this question, but we'll just review it quick. Adriana's asking if she can take a dress she's already bought to your store, but you said you don't have alterations in store any longer. But I do want to make a point of saying that on the online directory, we did have an alteration company just join this week. They do have a Wedding Shows Windsor special on our shop online page at weddingshows.com. So check that out, and I'd highly recommend that company.
And she can give us a call too. We can also give her some recommendations throughout
Perfect.
the city.
Okay, perfect. Is COVID lengthening the time for certain milestones? I was planning to shop 9 months prior, but I'm getting nervous that that might not be enough time.
And that's a really great question. Some of the smaller manufacturers have been delayed with shipping. So, you know, we are recommending that 10 to 12 months before the wedding is a really good timeline to start shopping, because some of the dresses will take up to 6 months just to arrive. And then the alteration process starts about 2 months before. So that's your 8-month window. So we always suggest, you know, you can never shop too early, but you could be too late to get what you need or want. But the great thing is right now with COVID, I mean, we do have over 600 samples in the store that we will sell our samples off the rack as well. So you're not limited, as well as 2 of our designers have online portals that we can not only pull from incoming Canadian stock, but some of them have US stock and overseas and Europe stock that we can, you know, grab for sooner deliveries without rush charges. There are rush charges also that, you know, are available on some of the companies. And then we do carry one company that is Canadian manufactured. So those dresses, we've had a dress in as little as a week for a bride that was came to see us a week before the wedding with no dress, and they produced and made it for her.
That's amazing. 2 more questions left, and then we're going to end today, Sarah. You're so full of information, we could talk forever. Sarah's asking, I'm trying to find shapewear for my bridal dress that holds in the tummy but is also backless. I was also like shorts. I already looked on the at the Bay and on Amazon, and couldn't find what I was looking for. Is there any place that you would recommend? Do you sell shapewear in your store?
So we no longer sell shapewear in our store, but the best resource I can give people, even though I'm giving a shout out, would be the Delicate Touch on Dougal and Cabana. They're great over there as far as fitting bras, proper shapewear. I mean, we've even had girls come in with stuff to try it on with their dress, and then, you know, working back and forth with Kathy. So that's, if you're going to need shapewear, that's where I would go. Although a lot of the dresses have such great construction that you don't necessarily need it. And sometimes it actually adds more volume underneath. So I would definitely try it with and without.
And I would agree with you about the Delicate Touch. I think went in there around the age of 40 and found out I had been wearing the wrong size, like very wrong size bra for a very long time. So just walking through those doors to get a proper bra fitting in itself is worth itself, girls. Do that.
So enlightening, because
favor.
with the right size bra, you're like, wow, your mind is blown.
Yeah.
And it's like 80% or 90% of women actually wear the wrong size bra.
Yeah. And we're so not used to wearing bras during COVID that when we put one on, it's awful anyway. So get one that fits. Last question is from Runa. What is the price range for bridesmaid dresses?
So bridesmaid dresses in store typically run anywhere from $269 to probably $389, somewhere around there. Although if the bride did get her wedding dress with us, we do offer a 10% discount for all of her bridesmaids. And then the more bridesmaids there are as they go up, we have a tiered system of discounts. As the more they go up, the more of a discount that they get on the whole party.
Well, thank you, Sarah. That was wonderful. At the end of the workshop, we will put Sarah's contact information up, and you will get that by email as well. So if you have any more questions for Sarah, she's always happy to answer them. We have 2 more workshops today, and we look forward to you joining us tonight at 7 and 8 o'clock. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate all your knowledge.